Hey, what's up, nurses? Nurse photographer here, and it is 10 p.m. here in the Philippines. I'm excited tonight because I'm interviewing one awesome emergency department nurse. I know a lot of you are curious about the practices in the ER in America, and of course, our guest will also share his American journey, challenges, and funny moments in the hospital. Nurse Mark Guayco from Guam, welcome to the show.
Hello, nurse photographer. Thank you for having me.
Hey, Daddy Mark, kumusta?
Okay naman. Thank you. Very exciting tong iyong episodes, itong iyong nurse talk. So I'm very honored that you invited me to be here.
Okay. I have so many questions for you. Let's start with Daddy Mark, kailan po kayo dumating sa Guam and what's your story as a nurse?
Dumating ako dito sa Guam 2012 as a family petition. It's my wife who petitioned me so under F2A category.
Hmm.
And I graduated 2006 sa Pilipinas, Bachelor of Science in Nursing 2006. So before I came here, probably I've been working as a nurse ever since I graduated. Of course, yung beginning nun, uh, on our time, mga volunteer, OJT, parang residency, gano'n, no? And then, hindi naman ako nagbayad. Pero I think during that time, may mga hospital pa or mga nurses na you have to pay parang just to be in the residency program. And then I think yung batch mo yung mga RN Hills na yata, may mga ganun na, no?
Yes po,
So,
RN Hills.
may mga ganun na. Pero sa batch namin, parang ang hirap makakuha ng experience. So, I was able to go into parang residency or OJT program sa isang dalawang government hospital tsaka isang private hospital. And then eventually, I was able to get hired sa isang government hospital. And in between, like you, I was working in the BPO industry. Yes, BPO pero telemedicine siya. Parang telehealth. Parang it's about very related din sa healthcare. Well, in fact, there are roles here in the States that what we were doing in that BPO industry. So parang very streamlined din yung experience before I came here dito sa Guam.
And gaano ka katagal nag-practice ng nursing sa Philippines?
Sa nursing, I would say about 4 or 5 years with experience na before I came here, and then about 2 or 3 years BPO um, before I came here sa Guam.
And yung nag-NCLEX ka, sa Guam ka na ba nag-process ng NCLEX or dito pa sa Philippines?
Yes, actually, dito na ako nakapag-exam sa Guam. When I graduated 2006, I think 2008 or 2009, I took my first NCLEX sa Trident Tower. No, 2010 pala, 2010. Um, ano pa lang yun eh, hindi pa ganun kadami yung building na katabi ng Trident Tower. Naalala ko, nag-NCLEX ako para may mga nagko-construction pa nga sa tabi ng Trident Tower. So, pero California yun eh, at that time, yung state na in-applyan ko. So, hindi pinalad kasi medyo out of focus ako. Paalis na yung asawa ko, pupunta na siya ng States. Alam mo yun, magsa-start na yung long distance relationship namin kasi nga ipipitation na ako. So, yun yung medyo hindi ko na siya agad sinundan ng another attempt until nakarating ako dito ng 2012. And I passed on my third attempt. On my third
Wow.
attempt. So, and then ang unang trabaho ko dito was an ER technician, and medical assistant. So I was doing two jobs. So in the same emergency department where I'm working right now. So I really started at the bottom as a ER tech. And then after a year of working as an ER tech, nakapasa ng NCLEX, doon na ako I still stayed in the ER kasi yun yung last na department na pinagtrabahuhan ko sa Pilipinas before ako
Hmm,
umalis. Yeah, so parang
wow.
na-draw talaga din ako sa ER sa emergency nursing.
Okay. Ang galing, ah. 'Pag gano'n ba, kunyari na-petition ka na, dumating ka sa States as ano na nun, anong status?
But dumating ako green card na agad eh. Green card na
So,
agad.
okay. And then 'pag gano'n, pagpasa mo ng NCLEX, hindi ka na kinailangan mag-IELTS 'no? Tsaka kung ano pang mga other requirement?
Depende kasi sa state eh. Yung if you're applying for your license, like in particular sa Guam, like other states, they would require social security number.
Hmm,
So, bago ako dumating, alam ko na yung requirements nila. So, pagdating ko, I knew that I would get my social security number. So, Guam board na yung in-applyan ko. Kagaya ng ibang state, they also require CGFNS. Parang sa New York, di ba? Meron silang specific na hinahanap. Pero
mm,
sa Guam board, it's only the CGFNS Credential Evaluation Service. Parang academic report.
mhm.
So, yun yung inasikaso namin bago ako umalis ng Pilipinas. And then wala silang nare-require na IELTS. Unlike Nevada, I believe Nevada would require you to take the IELTS exam or TOEFL, either or.
Okay. And then pagpasa mo nun, 'di ba, nasa, emergency technician ka, yung nag-jump ka to RN, parang how long was your, orientation or shadowing?
Sa hospital na pinagtatrabuhan ko, meron silang orientation na talagang 6 weeks. Parang 2 weeks in the morning, 2 weeks in this 3 to 11 shift, and 2 weeks in graveyard. So yun yung talagang binigay din sa akin. Pero napakadali nung
Hmm,
transition kasi alam ko na yung lahat ng gamit kung saan nakalagay, yung pakikisama sa tao, parang wala ng adjustment kasi I've been working with them for a year. So parang yung role lang talaga, yung pinaka-challenge is yung role mo bilang, 'di ba sa NCLEX sa review may tinatawag tayong UAP, or yung unlicensed
hmm,
professional, 'di
yes,
ba?
yes.
Yung mga dine-delegate nating tasks. So parang for you to have a switch kasi parang for more than a year yun yung task na ginagawa ko pero hindi pala. Kailangan ako na yung licensed nurse. Ako na yung primary nurse tong pasyente.
Ang galing, nakakatuwa. And,
Kasi may isang case na so i-sedate yung pasyente, kailangan i-ready yung mga gamit, no? Kailangan i-ready yung gamit. So as an ER tech, ang responsibility mo is to make sure na i-anticipate mo yung kakailangan yung nurse saka ng doktor. Eh ako naman,
hmm,
sige, takbo ko, punta ako sa supply room kasi may mga kulang. Galit sa akin yung doktor, Mark, you never leave this patient. Ganun sa akin yung doktor because you are the nurse of the patient. You're not the technician. So parang, nga. No? So yun yung switch sa akin na parang I have to know how to delegate the task. Kasi it's
hmm,
part of our responsibility, di ba? Kaya nga yun yung tinetest sa atin ng NCLEX is because it's part of our job to delegate those tasks because the responsibility is still ours, right?
mhm.
You can delegate the task but you can never delegate the responsibility. Pero those tasks that you delegate is part of your job. And that was really something that I have to learn throughout the transition.
Um, yung pag-jump mo ba sa pagiging ER nurse, meron bang mga parang additional trainings or parang certificate to become one as compared to sa mga bedside?
Wala naman siyang cer- um wala naman siyang required na training or certification. Um it's really that sa facility namin they would require parang bedside experience for a certain at least 6 months. Pero it's not really like set in stone.
Mm.
Merong may mga bagong nurses din who really came into the emergency department as a new graduate nurses. Um, Ngayon sa amin, kahit new graduate ka or you came from the Philippines without any experience in the emergency, tatanggapin ka namin as long as you tell me that you want to become an ER nurse. Kasi rarely that we see, especially in the younger, or meron ng change pero yung generation ng mga millennials, kagaya natin, ng mga, I think medyo, ando naman tayo, magka-edad naman tayo dun sa generation na yata na yun.
Yes, yes.
Yung mga millennials kasi, not all of them would say na, oh, I want to become an emergency
Mm.
nurse. So, karamihan sila sa kanila, or at least yung mga older millennials, would want to be more flexible So, parang mas gusto nila yung bedside
Mm.
nursing. So, may ganon kaming nakitang trend. Kaya kapag ang mga younger nurses, sinabi nila na, I really want to become an ER nurse, tututukan ka namin. Kahit wala kang bedside nurse, kahit wala kang bedside experience, pasok ka sa amin. Di-training ka namin, talagang imi-mentor ka namin. Kasi dun mo makikita yung difference talaga ng emergency nursing to bedside nursing is different.
Mhm.
Kasi sa bedside nursing, you can say, oh, mamaya ka na mag-admit, after 30 minutes tayo mag-admit kasi marami pa akong meds na ipapass, or may carry out pa akong orders. Kaya mamaya na 30 minutes. Sa emergency nursing, hindi pwede yun. May mga ambulance na darating tatlong ambulance na darating sa loob ng 5 minutes.
Wow.
So, yes, ganun yung trend ngayon So kaya pag may nagsabing isang nurse na, oh, gusto ko maging emergency nurse, kukunin ka namin. Kukunin ka
Mm.
namin. And then, yung sa certification na sinabi mo, meron dito sa States na yung specialty certification na tinatawag. So kung ikaw ay nasa ICU,
Mm.
I don't know if you've heard yung CCRN na specialty certification. Sa emergency nursing, meron tayong tinatawag na CEN. CEN, Certified Emergency Nursing, which in the year 2019 or 2018, I was able to take and pass that specialty certification. So parang you earn the title. So yung title mo magiging BSN, RN, CEN. So parang and you maintain that parang license. You maintain that every 4 years. It's either para mag-renew ka rin ng license. Iba't ibang dito sa state, sa mainland, iba't ibang facility, iba't iba ang kanilang way of encouraging the staff to take the specialty exam. Sa facility namin, meron kaming additional incentive on your base pay. Ganon. Sa ibang
Wow.
facility, parang they will cover the test, they will cover your review, and then meron din parang fixed dollar rate na itataas mo kapag may specialty ka. Specialty certification ka na napasa mo. Ganon.
Daddy Mark, regarding doon sa CEN, gaano po kayo katagal nag-prepare for that? And is it harder than the NCLEX or on par? Ano yun?
Iba kasi ang CEN, kumbaga, hindi siya hindi siya purely computer adaptive Parang kung hindi mo alam, hindi mo alam. Para kang nagte-take ng exam talaga. It's 150 questions
Mm.
and you need 75% to pass.
Mm.
Parang ganun yung, basta 108 or 107 ang passing score. And ang cost niya parang nasa $300 to $400 to take the
Ang
test. So
mahal din pala.
kailangan mo talagang yes. So kailangan mo talagang mag-prepare kasi it's a form of investment. It's a form of
Mm.
investment. So um gaano kahirap sa mas mahirap siya sa NCLEX for me. Mas
Hmm?
mahirap siya sa NCLEX for me kasi pag hindi mo talaga alam, hindi mo alam, you cannot parang try to eliminate the answers. I tried eh. Yung taskmanship naman, statistically, di ba, parang sinasabi nila, if you eliminate two answers, two incorrect answers, you have 50% chance of passing. Totoo naman yun. Pero pag yung mga specialty exam, talagang you really need to know the concept.
May SATA na situation din.
Wala siyang select all that apply, multiple choice
Ah,
lang. At least yung sa akin na yung purely select all that. I mean purely multiple choice. Tapos
okay.
tapos sasabihin naman very specific yung subject niya, yung mga aaralin mo yung for your CEN exam.
Mm,
So online review and then practice questions. So yung mga
okay.
associations ng specialty dito, meron yung Emergency Nurses Association. So sila yung nagbibigay ng mga review materials. Sila rin yung nagbibigay ng mga tips, ganyan. Kapag member ka sa kanila and mag-exam ka for your CEN, you'll get a discount if you apply for the exam. So very active yung mga association of nurses dito sa States. And malaking tulong lalo na pagka if you are very interested in pursuing your studies, education, specialty, yon maganda maging member ng mga associations.
Mm. Wow, grabe. Buti na share mo yun. Kasi ang dami din gusto malaman yun. Daddy Mark, let's talk about your typical day at work. Ano yung mga usualing pagdating mo sa ER? Ano yung mga usualing gagawin mo agad? And ano yung nurse-patient ratio nyo?
Okay. Dito kasi sa amin, pagdating mo, you get your endorsement. Alam mo kasi Guam, let me just give you a small background about Guam. So we're just 4 hours away from the Philippines.
Okay.
4 hours away from the Philippines. Saipan is just 30 minutes away from our island. So I mean, of course, Saipan is very popular, 'di ba? CNMI, Celefora, it's very popular where dyan tayo nag-a-apply ng mga ating Board of Nursing kasi na, madali mag-apply. So anyway, so geographically, malapit kami sa Saipan. Um, with that with that said, Maraming Pilipino dito sa
Mm.
Guam. Sa unit nga namin, I think we're about 85% to 90% Filipino speaking in our unit. So talagang minsan maano ka dahil talagang wala ka sa Guam, parang gano'n. Lalo na sa unit namin. So medyo ang challenge namin nga is medyo napapagalitan kami minsan kasi nga parang nakakalimutan namin na yung mga pasyente na dito sa loob ng mga kwarto non-Filipino speaking. So kailangan medyo maging sensitive kami. Anyway, so with that being said, so ang tawag din sa hand-off report namin is endorsement.
Mm.
Oh,
Okay.
kasi in other states parang hindi naman ganoon ginagamit yung term na endorsement. Pag yung mga traveling nurse nga o ibang mga doktor, ano to, cheque sa bangko, endorse mo, parang ganoon. So very very kasi yung endorsement na term very
Mm.
ano yan sa culture ng Filipino nurses yan yung term na yan, na endorsement.
Oh.
Yes. Hindi masyado yung ginagamit na term. So anyways, so going back, so typical day, I come in and I will get this endorsement from the outgoing shift nurse, and then pagkatapos ng endorsement, assessment na, check mo na yung pasyente mo. And typically, ang ratio ng emergency nurses is 1:4. 1:4 yan standard. Pero recently nga, dahil nga sa pandemic, um, tinry namin na maging 1:3. Kasi magpi-PPE ka pa, mag, mag, marami ka pang gagawin bago mo talaga mapuntahan yung pasyente. So 1:3 ang ratio namin dito sa Guam for the emergency nurses.
Wow, grabe, nasusunod.
Mhm. Hindi, ang ano ko din, the reason din also
Mm.
why I really very naging interested ako to be in your show kasi alam ko marami tayong mga Filipino nurses in the States na tapos na yung kontrata nila kasi 'di ba they came here na as employment based, 'di ba? And then minsan tapos na yung kontrata nila and they want to relocate. And I really want to share that Guam is also an option for them. Kasi alam mo kung hindi lang nga sa pandemic, minimum 'yan, 2 beses kaming umuuwi ng Pilipinas. 2 beses 'yan, minimum. At one point, minsan nakatatlo kami. And then minsan, work-related. Work-related na sa isang taon, 4 na beses ako nakauwi. Naka-attend ako ng kasal, 2 beses ng mga kaibigan ko. And then sa trabaho, nakapunta din ako. And then isang bakasyon. So talagang if you have strong ties in the Philippines, tapos you want a simple life, laid back, island life, na ang culture kasi ng mga Guamanians or ng mga Chamorro is very similar to Filipinos. So, on that matter, parang you really feel home dito sa Guam. Ang buhay dito is very simple lang talaga. Kaya maraming Pilipino ang naa-attract to stay here once they started to work here, nagugustuhan na nila. Kaya talagang I want to share that, kung may mga nurses diyan na they want to know more about Guam. Guam is here. Guam is an option for especially for Filipino nurses. It's if you want to work and practice in the States, you earn dollar, you earn the same amount of respect and not only respect but for your job satisfaction, and at the same time be able to go home with 4 hours away, and this is the good place for you.
Grabe. Yung 4 na beses ka makauwi sa isang taon, sobrang ganda nun.
Mm-mm.
Magkano ang typical na plane ticket from Philippines to Guam?
Actually, 2 years ago or 3 years ago, 2 years ago, sorry, may Cebu Pacific kami dito. Nagkaroon ng Cebu Pacific. So, meron mga $60 fare. Magkano yung $60? Yes, ang first flight ng mom ko was with Cebu Pacific eh. So magkano lang, less than $100 ang one way niya. So talagang, pero ngayon dahil wala na Cebu Pacific, ang typical kung walang pandemic, you can go home in what, $200, $300. Kung maka-promo ka, may $100, 150, ganun. Kung ipaplanuhin mo talaga yung bakasyon mo, you can get cheap flights. Pero it can get, in any other place naman, even in Manila, no, it can go higher during peak seasons. So may mga options, and then we have direct flights to Japan, we have direct flights to Korea, so other Asian countries. So kung ayaw mong umuwi ng Pilipinas, you want to go Asian countries, this is a good place talaga. So talagang Guam is an option for Filipino nurses.
Grabe, ang dali pala magbakasyon pag nandyan.
Mhm. Yes, kasi 'di ba dito meron tayong tinatawag na yung 12-hour shifting. Although sa hospital, sa unit namin, may mga 8-hour shifts pa rin kami. So 2 days off in a week. Pero yung iba may 12 hours. So you can get up to 7 days off in 2 weeks. So minsan napagbibigyan ka, pag didikit-dikitin mo yung mga days off mo, yun lang talaga nakakapagod. Pero sulit kasi 4 hours lang yung biyahe mo, para ka lang pumunta from Quezon City to Makati, di ba? Or to Mall of to MOA, di ba? So,
Tama.
di ba? So, yun yung pinakamagandang magandang reason to stay here or choose Guam.
Okay. Grabe, sobrang mura ng flight. Naalala ko yung sa amin, pag pupunta pa kami sa States, parang nasa $800 to $1,000 per head.
Mhm.
Grabe,
Mhm.
panalo
So,
dyan ah.
kung may 3 kang anak, Kung may tatlo kang anak, di ba? 5,000 mo, pamasahe pa lang.
Oo.
So, kung nandito ka sa Guam, yung 5,000 mo kasama na yung pocket money mo.
Wow, grabe. Okay yun ah. And kamusta yung ano dyan? Cost of living sa Guam?
Cost of living, syempre, as an island, medyo mataas when it comes to real estate and sa pagkain. Pero nababawi naman siya kasi Guam is wala kaming binabayarang na state tax.
Mm.
Wala kaming binabayaran na state tax. Even sa mga binibiling pagkain or binibiling
Oh.
anything, tax-free ang Guam. Kaya maraming artista ang pumupunta dito para lang mag-shopping kasi nga mas mura. Promise, mas mura. Kung hindi nga pandemic, dyan sa mga shopping i-ano namin, sa mga duty-free shops dito, makita mo yung mga artista nandyan lang kasi nga mas mura.
Wow, okay. Ako personally, I've never been to Guam kasi. Mm. Paano pag i-compare mo yung Guam sa Hawaii? Mas mahal syempre sa Hawaii, no?
Mas mahal sa Hawaii ang pagkain and at the same time real estate doon is napakamahal.
Mm.
Napakamahal doon. Pero we're almost like Hawaii pero mas mura naman kahit papano ang mga bahay dito. Kasi
Mm.
the reason why din ang real estate mahal kasi syempre yung construction ng bahay is made of concrete. Kasi nga syempre we're an island. So most of the houses here is made out of concrete, even yung roof. So and may
Grabe.
required na thickness. So medyo mas expensive pero nonetheless dahil walang tax, you're not paying any tax pag sumahod ka, if you're an employee, wala kang binabayarang state tax. At pag bumibili ka ng mga gamit, pagkain, wala kang binabayarang extra tax. So, medyo break even din. And if you really like the simple living na malapit sa Pilipinas, you still earn dollars, I think Guam is still
Mm.
better, no? At yung aming ano naman yung sweldo na tinatawag, I know you may ask that. We are also comparable or very competitive yung sinasahod ng mga nurses dito in comparison to the same size of population sa ibang state. Of course, hindi naman kami comparable to New York and California or other West Coast states. Pero comparing to the same population type and the same community type in the states, competitive na rin yung aming mga salaries dito sa Guam.
No, that's good to know. That's good to know. And in terms ba dun sa mga hospital, sa Guam ba merong mga nurse union or wala?
Wala talagang nurse union na specific for nurses. Wala talagang specific union na talagang nurses. Pero merong union dito na nagsimula sa mga teachers. Tapos they branched out, parang hikayat nila yung mga ibang professionals like the mga police, mga firemen, mga medics to join their parang kanilang union, pati mga nurses din. Ang kainaman naman dito sa Guam kasi nga napakaliit na community,
Mm.
hindi ganon ka personal ko lang tong opinion hindi naman ganon ka kumbaga wala pa namang sitwasyon na napipilitan yung mga nurse na mag-seek ng union kasi nga hindi naman nila talaga nararamdaman na kailangan namin mag-unionize kasi para naiintindihan mo ba yung sinasabi ko? Na parang syempre 'di ba yung union nagsimula sa states, 'di ba? Yung mga laborers parang hindi sila natitreat ng maayos so kailangan nila
Yes.
mag-unionize
Mm.
para marinig yung boses nila. So far, siguro sineswerte din ako sa mga sa mga naging boss or administrator or executive leaders na naabutan ko ngayon dito sa Guam is hindi namin kailangan, at least on my part. And talking about parang leadership, I mean, this is a known fact that yung governor ng Guam is a nurse.
Wow.
Yes. Yes. So talagang ang mga ang ano ng mga nurses dito sa island. Kumbaga, syempre ang governor mo is on the same profession, so active pa yung license niya, kaya talagang she's really proud to say that she's a nurse.
Mm. Okay, wow. And that makes a huge factor, no, sa mga nurses dyan, no? You guys are well taken care of. Wow. Okay. Let's go back to your work, Daddy Mark. Any funny moments?
Wala akong maisip pero ano ba, teka lang, funny moments sa work. Ano, siguro kasi dahil marami kaming mga Pinoy sa trabaho. So yung very typical na yung mga Ilocano magkakasama, mga Kapampangan magkakasama, mga Bisaya magkakasama. So may mga travel nurses kami, no. So isa marinig ka nagsasalita Ilocano. So sasabihin ko na lang dun sa puti na kasama ko, "Don't worry, I didn't understand them too." Mga ganun. Kasi nga may kanya-kanyang ano na sila. First, okay naman yun kasi nagsasalita sila doon sa salitang komportable sila. Ang ano lang naman doon is syempre kapag may pasyente, dapat maging sensitive kasi syempre alam mo na pag may sakit ka, makarinig ka ng ibang salita, isipin niya pinag-uusapan siya. So, pero okay naman so far, wala naman naging problema on that part na language use sa mga pasyente namin. Yun lang talaga. Mga Pilipino talagang hagik-ikan, tawan, at syempre pagkain, ano. Sabi ko nga sa mga travel nurses na nagpupunta dito na we eat rice for breakfast. Kasi 'di ba yung iba hindi naman sanay na nagkumakain ng kanin, na may fried rice na, meron pang white rice na kasama. Tapos dito sa amin sa Guam, may tinatawag na chamorro red rice. So talaga ang dami ng pagkain na puro kanin, puro carbs.
Sa mga kinikwento mo, no, parang you would feel like at home sa Guam.
Yes. Yes, talagang unang pagbaba ko nga ng eroplano, ng papunta doon sa bahay nung family ko. Ayun yung anak ko. Hi, Brent.
Hi, Brent.
So that's my firstborn son. Kasi pagbaba ko, nakita ko yung simbahan ng Iglesia ni Cristo. So, wow, sabi ko parang, so di ba very iconic yung simbahan nila, di ba?
Opo.
Yung structure ng simbahan. So sabi ko, wow, talagang kumbaga, ramdam ko na, ano, na maraming Pilipino. Maraming Pilipino dito. And then sa Catholic Church, meron din mass na Tagalog. So,
Talaga?
yes,
Wow.
yes. At saka sa mga
Ibang-iba.
malls talaga makikita mo na masasanay yung tenga mo na nagsasalita ng Tagalog, yung karamihan.
Good to know. It's a totally different world. Parang extension ng Pilipinas,
Yes. Kasi we share same culture, same culture. 'Di ba yung tinatawag nilang Treaty of Paris nung araw, yung pinag-aralan natin yan, no, na binili ng Amerika ang Pilipinas. Kasama doon sa binili nila ang Guam.
Okay.
Yes. So parang during the Spanish time, Guam and Pilipinas parang similar, parang ano. So pagkain, pangalan, pati yung salita nila is almost like broken Spanish, may pagka-Chabacano na gano'n. So very very similar. Kaya yung mga locals parang they also embraced the Filipinos who came here and choose Guam to be their home. So hindi mo din talaga mararamdaman na you are different because the locals are also very welcoming to us Filipinos.
And ito sa susunod kong itatanong sa'yo, tingin ko alam ko na yung sagot eh. Pero dahil sa mga kinuwento mo, no, I don't think you guys experience much, ano no, yung mga Karen as compared to siguro sa Manila lang, Amerika, no? Wala.
Yung tinatawag na Karens ngayon, no, sa social media na nasa Amerika. I think it's not just exclusively to Americans kasi kahit nasa
Mhm.
Pilipinas naman ako, meron ka naman makikita talaga na very typical yung ugali or yung the way i-approach yung isang bagay kapag feeling nila tama sila, parang sila lang ang tama, parang may mga ganong mindset, no? Same here din, may mga ganon. Pero as a culture, hindi siya very prominent, hindi mo siya madalas makikita. Because as a culture, like Filipinos, very family-oriented din ang community ng Guam. That's why masasabi ko na we are very fortunate that hindi kami sanay na makakita ng ganong klaseng tao that would really stand out na very demanding, na talagang to a point na they would become racist towards other people. Bihirang-bihira. Of course, meron kaming here and there, pero bihira kami makakita ng mga Karen dito sa Guam.
Mabuti at nakwento mo sa amin yun. Daddy Mark, dun sa mga nurses na nagpaplano bumalik sa hospital settings para to gain more experience, no? Prior to immigrate to the America. In your opinion, to enhance their clinical skills, saan mas maganda mag-practice dito sa Pilipinas? In a private or a government hospital?
Sa akin kahit saan Kasi ako naka-experience ako both in private and government hospital sa atin. For me, it's as long as yung experience kasi talaga, whether or it's private or government, it will always be respected in both in two different ways. It will be respected depende sa facility na a-applyan mo. Not all facilities will count it as 1 year. Yung iba nga, they look down upon experience, your work experience pag galing sa Pilipinas or galing sa ibang bansa. Pero it may also be respected pagdating mo na sa trabaho mo because you know it, you experience it. A nurse is a nurse. A nursing experience will always be a nursing experience kahit anong sabihin pa ng HR. So for me, that will really be that will really stand out. Kung may 10 years experience ka na as a nurse, tapos darating ka dito, wala ka pang NCLEX, dala-dala mo pa rin yun eh. And so once you get your license, your experience from the Philippines will really bring you an extra step versus the nurses who just graduated a year before. So, iba't ibang mindset, pero for me, now that I'm also on managing people in the unit. So yun lang yung stand ko as a leader is I will always I will always respect your experience kahit saan man ka, kahit sa Dubai yung experience mo. Marami tayong Pilipino nagtrabaho sa Middle East, and then for me, whether or saan ka, your experience will always give you an extra step ahead of those who does not have. Kaya kung meron kang option, yes, magtitiis ka nga lang talaga. Kasi ikaw, I know from the past episodes, nabanggit mo, nag-BPO ka din, di ba? Nag-BPO ka. Napakalaki ng tulong ng BPO experience sa akin.
In terms of?
Because in terms of culture and the way, yung tenga, the way you hear, yung mga common humor, sarcasm, the accent, and the way you parang na prepare din yung utak ko na okay, this is their humor kasi alam mo yung American humor is very different, although we are very exposed to their sarcasm, to their humor, to their culture kasi hello, syempre 'di ba ilang years ang I mean, we grew up having a night, yung ating yung news natin na The World Tonight, 'di ba? Bago ka matulog, ang
Mm.
late night news natin is in English.
Yes.
Ang broadsheet natin ngayon is still in English. 'Di ba? Lahat ng subject natin sa school is taught in English except
Filipino.
Filipino and
Mm.
Civica or whatever. No? But then again, on that part, BPO is a good experience kung if that will put food in your table for now, okay lang. Pero also, ang masasabi ko is habang nasa BPO, mag-ipon para makakuha ng pagkakataon to take the review, mag-NCLEX, and at the same time, pag nandun ka na sa point na okay, pasado na, mag-ano ka na, gain that experience. Gain that experience. Go 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 back go back to bedside, whether it's in the emergency department or other unit, go back to bedside nursing.
Wow, it's good na nasabi mo yan kasi marami ding marami na mga nagtatrabaho sa BPO na parang feeling nila tinapon na lang yung oras nila kasi hindi siya nursing experience and then kailangan nga nila, no? Okay yun, no? Maraming matutuwa.
No. Mm-hmm.
Daddy Mark, we're down to 3 questions.
Mm-hmm.
Can you share with us what's it like living in Guam and anong usually ginagawa mo sa mga day offs mo?
Sa mga day off ko, bukod sa tumutulong gumawa ng assignment ng mga anak ko. Kasi ngayon, syempre, sila, di ba? Homeschool sila. Pero ngayon, face-to-face na.
Okay.
Ang pinaka-libangan namin is pupunta kami sa beach, magsuswimming, and manonood ng sine. Pero ngayon, during the pandemic, wala na. Hindi na kami masyado nakakapunta ng sinehan. Kain yan, Netflix, and ako ang pinaka libangan ko naman on my personal is just yun yung we started last year yung family namin ng parang family vlog dito sa Guam, pero konti pa lang naman yung na-upload namin, pero we're starting sharing our lives here on Guam. Pag nag-grocery kami yon, minsan dala-dala kami camera, yung mga bata yung excited kasi may mga napapanood sila yung mga family vlogs. So parang feeling nila sila, sikat na sila, or feeling nila magiging popular daw sila or kami as a family. Pero yun naman, it's not really meant to parang to be like a full-time vloggers. Parang yun yung naging pastime namin since last year. So marami pa
Mm.
kaming i-edit na videos para lahat nasa naka-save lang. Hindi wala pang na-edit, pero we're having fun doing it as a family.
Alam mo, pinanood ko yung mga video nyo, no? Grabe very natural kayong lahat sa camera.
Kasi nga yung mga bata nanonood, may mga napapanood silang mga family vlogs. So parang naman din sila, hindi na nahihiya. Siguro yung mga bata ngayon hindi na nahihiya, no? Kagaya natin na parang pag may nakita kang camera, uy, teka lang.
Oo, oo. Naalala ko yung bata ako, pupunta kami sa States or kahit sa ibang country, no? Every time na yung magpapapicture, nakasimangot ako or nahihiya ako kasi mukha akong
Mhm.
foreigner, nahihiya talaga ako. So,
Mhm.
sa lahat talaga, nakasimangot ako or tinatakpan ko yung mukha ko. And Daddy Mark, do you guys plan on staying dyan sa Guam for good or may plano pa ba kayo lumipat sa ibang state?
Ako on my career, I really want to stay here. Kasi okay yung where I am right now in my job. Kasi I'm not just only doing bedside work. Nasa management na rin, executive leadership. Pero for me, siguro that because of the kids.
Mm.
Kumbaga open pa rin yung discussion namin na later on kapag nag-college na siguro sila or nag-high, yun ba
Mm.
yun? Yun yung ano namin. But nonetheless, Guam is our home. I mean, I spent my late 20s and early 30s here on this island. And this is my home. Guam is my home. Yung iba nga parang how tinatanong ko yung ibang mga Filipino, you know, na lumaki and born and raised dito, how do they associate themselves? Is it as a Filipino American or a Chamorro American or ang sagot na nila Guamanian. And naiintindihan ko yung pag sinabi nilang I associate more of myself as a Guamanian because iba yung culture na parang hybrid 'di ba? You get the taste of America and you get the taste of the Chamorro culture and at the same time you are very intact or connected to your Filipino culture. So yun yung masasabi ko na we are a Filipino family living in the island of Guam.
I like that. And Daddy Mark, para sa mga nurses na are pursuing their American journey, siguro may PD na sila or siguro naghihintay na lang sila ng interview date nila sa US Embassy. Ano yung mga bagay na pwede nilang gawin ngayon para pagdating nila sa States is mas prepared sila?
Number one, depende kung saan sila pupunta. Yung I mean, non-nursing, kumbaga na non-nursing tips. Number one, syempre, kung hindi ka masyado nagmamaneho sa Pilipinas, pero nagmamaneho ka, I think medyo kailangan mo na ulit mag-practice or mag-volunteer ka ng maging taga bili ng mga grocery diyan. Kasi very useful yung para hindi ka na ninervyusin. Kasi dito parang very very para ka lang nasa loob ng Subic hindi ganoon ka-traffic. Pero sa States I don't know kung nakita mo naman yung mga pagmamaneho ng mga tao doon, especially sa West Coast, traffic din pero mabibilis, 'di ba? Sa East Coast puro traffic din. Pero 'yon, mag-drive kung hindi ka pa nagda-drive, especially sa mga babae na 'di ba alam mo naman mga nurses hindi naman talaga pag nurse ka sa Pilipinas, hindi you cannot really afford to buy your own car, which is that is a fact, no?
Totoo.
Totoo 'yon. I mean, may mga fortunate lang tayo na mga kaklase o mga katrabaho na may sasakyan at nakakapag-drive dahil nga binigay ng magulang or ng family, no? But if you are waiting for your interview date, di ka pa nagda-drive, mag-enroll ka na. Mag-enroll ka na sa driving. Next, also when it comes to financial education, kasi syempre as a nurse, again, hindi naman tayo kumikita ng malaki. Pagdating dito, it's going to be a lifestyle change. Your life will be changed. Pag sinabi nating your life will be changed, hindi lang sa personal mong buhay, kung hindi, you have the opportunity to be able to change the life of your family. Kung wala ka pang anak, probably you'll be able to change the life of your parents or your mga kapatid mo. Pero depende yon how you are educated when it comes to your finances. Kasi pag nandito ka na, you can always spend what you earn. So, ang difference doon is how you save. So, how you save will always depend on how you save. Your earning will also dictate how much you can change the life of other people. Kasi nga, as a nurse, parang as a culture, Filipino nurse, we're very much giving sa oras, sa oras and technically or parang kaya pag dumami yung pera mo minsan, ang tendency mo is maging ano ka rin, generous. So, I think yun ang pinakamagandang, or I wish somebody would have given me that advice, is ano siguro, aral ng financial literacy, how to save, how to invest.
Mm.
Um, yun. How to save, how to invest, and how to handle your finances wisely.
And Daddy Mark, last na talaga. In terms of
Mhm.
clinical naman,
Kung hindi pa ano siguro, kasi may mga facilities sa atin na talagang we still do gravity pagdating sa IV fluids. Siguro yung mga be updated sa mga bagong technologies. Um, sa ano natin, sa pinanggalingan kong hospital is ang IV pump namin is isang piraso, isang IV pump, tapos kapag turn mo nang gumamit, nakalimutan mo na kung paano gamitin kasi hindi mo naman laging ginagamit. So, YouTube is always there. Yung mga latest gadgets or latest equipments. Yun, doon tayo medyo nahuhuli ng konti, pero I think you can always if you are very much interested, learn how to at least be familiar with some of the equipments.
okay. And there you have it, nurses. Daddy Mark, thank you so much for sharing. Grabe, ang dami ko natutunan, no? Grabe, sobrang... Hindi kasi usually napag-uusapan yung Guam kahit sa mga Facebook group. So, sobrang swerte namin that you're there to educate us.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And anytime, um, I think what you're doing is really helping a lot of people. Um, I really hope that your channel will um, gain more audience. I think not only those that are in the Philippines, but also nurses, or hindi lang nurses eh. I believe your channel, lalo na itong yung nurse talk mo, will also help Filipino families na that has family members na nurse. Maintindihan din nila na kung ano yung mga struggles or yung mga pwedeng alamin ng mga nurse na nangangarap makarating ng Amerika, which is um ay marami na kasi 'di ba ang daming gumraduate na mga kabatch ko, even 2 years before ng ako gumraduate, ang dami ng nurses sa Pilipinas eh. And nasa na sila ngayon. So, I think what you're doing is going to help a lot of Filipinos, nurses and Filipino families. So keep it up, and I'm here to support you. Let me know kung kailan ulit, and I'll be there to join you in another episode or whatever you embark soon.
Thank you so much for those kind words, Daddy Mark. Okay, to the viewers, thank you so much for watching this far. And again, thank you again, Daddy Mark. And I hope yung mga viewers natin marami natutunan sa episode na to. And okay, so nurses, I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye!